All right, welcome back. Today we are going to round out the top 50 players. So 46 through 50. So let's go ahead and see who we have here. So Fantasy Pro, since the last video, added these arrows here to show trends on the rankings. Who's working the way up the rankings, who's fallen down. So you can kind of see that here. So we're going 46 through 50. So Yoan Moncada, we already talked about him. So it looks like Matt Olson we haven't talked about. He's working his way up the rankings. All right. Oh, he's moved up 5 spots. Okay, there we go. So we're going to talk about Olson, Pham, LeMahieu, Abreu, and Rosario today. So our last two ranked were VR and Mondesi. So let's go ahead. Compare these stats. Beautiful. Okay. So I already took Mondesi off because honestly, I'm not drafting him in any leagues unless I get him in I don't know, the 7th, 8th round maybe. I'm not gonna reach for him. I don't think he's a top 50. I don't think he's a top 60 player. At least not in my league where, if the only thing he's contributing is speed, I don't need speed that bad. I'd rather maximize my home run OPS, RBI opportunities. And Matt Olson's a perfect guy for that. So instead of Mondesi, I actually put Aaron Judge here. Olson, in a lot of ways, is similar to Aaron Judge. Not quite as elite. We have Judge, I think, at 18. He's definitely a top 20 player when healthy. Olson is like an Aaron Judge light. It's kind of how I see him. He's a guy who can mess around, give you a 900 OPS, 40 plus home runs, 100 plus RBIs. The past season, he was injured for a little while, only 547 plate appearances, still knocked out 36 homers, 91 RBIs. This kid is freakishly good, freakishly talented. So let's look at the batting profile. Walks, Judge, got him on walks for sure. Strikes out less than Judge, though. Interesting. The BABIP's not there for Olson. 300 BABIP last year, below 300 the year before. What's the reason for that? I'll try to explain in a second what my prediction is. The WOBA's there, 368, 340, 400 WOBA. He's a really, really good player. He's a really good hitter. At least look at the ISO 277. Very respectable. Over 250 is very, very good for that power stat there. Here we go. This is it. The fly balls. He hit so many fly balls, 45%. And he's hitting 23 last year, 23% of those out of the park. So let's just do our quick home runs per plate appearance, I guess. So let's just multiply these. You go 0.3 for Aaron Judge times 0.351. So he's hitting a home run about 11% of his plate appearances. And then for Olson's at 10.5%. 10.5% of his batted balls are home runs, not plate appearances. Batted balls. Holy smokes. 1 out of every 10 times he puts the ball in play, home run. That's pretty good. Here we go, the hard hit. Over 50% hard hit. There aren't many people who can do that. So look at this. Matt Olson, 50%. Even the year before, 47%. Those are crazy numbers. If we look at positional stats, I already filtered this for hard hit over 50%. Look at the people on this list. Yelich, Judge, Alvarez, Cruz, Elo, Turner. So no, these are guys who are hitting bombs. These are guys who we know are going to be power guys. Matt Olson fits that bill. So let's go back here. So, that's what I'm saying. He's like a Judge light. We look at the plate discipline. Look at the zone contact. Not elite. He's like Aaron Judge with this, okay? Actually strikes out less than Judge. But at the same time, when we look at the StatCast, he's not hitting the ball quite as hard as Judge. But he's got elite exit velo. 92% last year, 93% the year before. He's barreling it up at 9.1. Those are awesome numbers. So I love Matt Olson's profile. WOBA 386 expected. Really, really good. Zone contact does scare me, though. The difference between him and Judge, though, Judge's zone contact scares me too, but Judge has done it before. He's hit 50 homers before. I think Olsen, maybe he could get there, but I know Judge, better ballpark, better lineup around him. He's going to have more opportunities. I like Judge a lot more than Olsen, but Olsen's similar. I can see him developing into a similar type player. So if I look at the rankings, Judge is way up here right now. I can't put Matt Olsen that high, but where can I put him? I don't think I'd put him over Alonso. I mean, I guess working my way up, I would take him over Bryant. I would take him over Guerrero. I would I don't think I would take him over Eloy or Eugenio. I like those guys a lot more. I think they have a slightly better. Well, Eugenio definitely has a better contact. Let me put him up against Paul Goldschmidt, two first basemen. Let's kind of see what that matchup looks like. Oh, spelled that wrong. Okay. Fly balls. Olsen with more fly balls, more home run to fly ball. Hard hit, way more hard hit. And then Paul Goldschmidt isn't an elite contact. 80% zone. I mean, overall only 76%. He's Olsen 75. But then look at this. Expected WOBA. Olsen had him last season. Better launch angle. These launch angles by Olsen are insane. Oh, that's what I was going to say. For his BABIP, that's probably why it's a little lower. He's hitting more fly balls. So if they're not going out of the park, fly balls are typically easier to get caught. So, and then look at the exit velo. Olsen has him on the exit velo, the barrels. Paul Goldschmidt isn't giving you that speed stat anymore. So I think just looking at these two guys now, the ISO, I'm going to take Olsen over Goldschmidt. And then it comes down to Olsen over Ozzy. I'm not a huge Ozzy fan overall. Ozzy will be decent, 20 homers, maybe 20 steals. But I'm gonna take the power over that. So I'm gonna slot Matt Olsen right here. Like I said, I wouldn't take him over Eugenio Suarez. Suarez, I think, could hit just as many bombs. He's gonna have better contact. I think he would have an overall better season. But Olsen, legit. I mean, we look at just first baseman. Bellinger, Freeman, Alonso, Rizzo, Olsen. That's interesting. But I like Rizzo with the contact. I think Rizzo has a solid season. So yeah, I think I'd keep it there. Next up is Tommy Pham. We talked about Tommy Pham briefly when I was talking about Manny Machado. Machado in San Diego. Pham's going to be in San Diego this year. We look at roster resource, Padres lineup. Look at this for Tommy Pham. He's going to be hitting projected between Tatis and Machado, with Hosmer even behind. A lot of run opportunities, a lot of RBI opportunities, because Tatis is going to get on base a lot. So I really like Tommy Pham slotted into this lineup. Pham, he's not a guy I've ever been very crazy about in fantasy, but he will contribute in all categories. Contribute with stolen bases. Contribute with OPS over 800. He'll give you 20 home runs or so. Okay? And then runs and RBIs are going to be dependent on the rest of the team around him. Last year's in Tampa Bay. Okay season. I think maybe more opportunities in this lineup with the Padres now. We'll have to wait and see how they play. But look at this. The guy doesn't strike out, 18%. He's able to draw walks as well. I like that. BABIP over 300. Actually had a down year last year. 316 career average is above that. Not a ton of fly balls. He's more of a like line drive, ground ball, single, double. But he has some pop. What was his ISO? His ISO not great, but he could pop 20 homers. Hard hit 43%. That's very respectable. It's very good. And look at this, the zone contact 88. This is elite stuff here. He's going to put the ball in play. He's going to get on base. So that bodes well for stolen bases. How many caught stealing did he have? Let me just check that real quick. Only 4. 25 out of 29 for successful stolen bases. That's not a terrible ratio right there. And then you look at the expected WOBA. Expected WOBA is always a little higher than what he performs as the past 2 seasons at least. What does that say? It says that he's doing well. Like I said, not going to be hitting the home runs. But, the fact that he got 20 last season is a good sign. Maybe he can do that again. New stadium, though, so we'll see. He's got exit velo. He's got over 90%, or I don't know, sorry, 90 miles per hour. So I'd like to see that. So he's hitting the ball hard, over 40% hard hit, over 90 miles per hour exit velo average. And he has high contact rate. That's very valuable. He's going to put the ball in play. He's going to get on base. So, I mean, even comparing to a guy like VR, VR is going to get you more stolen bases, guaranteed. But I would maybe bet that Pham gets more home runs than VR. Possibly. VR does have the dual eligibility, second base, shortstop eligibility, dual positional eligibility. Average leagues will kind of be a wash. OPS, Pham probably above on OPS. He's going to get more walks, get on base more often. VR in Miami, I don't know about that for runs, RBIs. But yeah, Pham's going to walk more. He's going to strike out less. Habits are going to be probably about the same this year if Pham goes back to his career average. ISO's the same, so they're two very similar players. VR's going to have more speed. Maybe this is one instance where I take speed slightly over the power. Because VR could match each other in power. Home runs last year for VR, sustainable. More fly balls than usual, but same home run to fly ball rate. You can maybe expect Pham to hit a few more. His home run to fly ball was a little under. But let's take a look. The zone contact. I love zone contact. And Pham's is a lot higher. Expected WOBA higher. I gotta take Pham and the exit velo. I gotta take Pham over VR. So we take a look at that. Chris Bryant. Am I taking Pham over Chris Bryant? So that's a good question. Olsen is pretty high up. I can probably get rid of him. I don't know if the rest of these guys are going to go up that high, but we'll see. Chris Bryant. I mean, launch angle. Chris Bryant's got the launch angle. Pham's got the exit velo. Remember Chris Bryant with that disappointing exit velo. Ex-WOBA, though, he's there. Pham matched him in 2018, 2017. 59, 98, 99. That zone contact. Pham's got him beat so far in categories that I like. Even hard hit. Even home run to fly ball. Chris Bryant hits way more fly balls. That's how he translates that. So the expected WOBAs were similar. Pham's going to strike out less. Oh my gosh. And he's going to steal more bags. And Chris Bryant hasn't been delivering in the RBI category. Who had more plate appearances? They're about the same. Okay. A wash. Look at the OPS. I would say Chris Bryant has a better OPS than Tommy Pham. I don't think these guys are that far apart. I mean, I'm probably going to keep Bryant ahead of Pham. But Pham's pretty solid. Especially he's got third base and outfield, a little flexibility. Pham's pretty solid, though. Tommy Pham. But I think he stops here. I mean, if Bryant and Pham are both there, the pick before me, and I need an outfielder, I wouldn't be mad if the person ahead of me took Bryant and I ended up with Pham. I wouldn't be mad if the person in front of me hit Pham and I ended up with Bryant. Both really great players. But 44 and 45, I have those players. What are they separated like with the expert rankings? Bryant at 36. And Pham at 47. Okay. All right. Let's keep moving. LeMahieu. I love LeMahieu so much. Went to New York last year. Stellar season. Really broke out in a big way. But even in Colorado, he was mashing back then too. I remember he was pretty useful. The guy who's putting the ball in play. High average kind of guy. But the OPS, that's what jumped out last year. More home runs. Look at these counting stats. Look at the eligibility, first, second, and third base. A lot of appeal right there. He's flexible. He's gonna be an everyday starter. He's gonna give you 650 plate appearances if healthy. Absolutely. Not a guy that strikes out. This is what I love about him. The contact. 13% Ks. It's nothing. He's not striking out. Abbott is high. Woba is high. ISO, 19. So a little more power than Pham. Last year, 19% home run fly ball, 26 fly ball. But again, he's similar to Pham as far as profile here. Pretty similar. Even with the home run to fly ball. Pretty similar. So overall, him and Pham are like pretty good there. Let's see where we can separate them a little bit. Right here, elite zone contact. Jay LeMahieu puts bat on ball, doesn't strike out. Definitely better than Pham. I'm taking LeMahieu over Pham every single time. Expected WOBA, solid. Launch angle, they're pretty similar here. And then the exit velo, DJ LeMahieu, back-to-back seasons over 91. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So he's over Pham for sure. Like I just know that immediately. So it's just a matter of how high. So I took Brian over Pham because of the power. But LeMahieu with the legit exit velo, the legit contact over Bryant. Do I take LeMahieu over Guerrero? Do I dare? Ooh, I think I do. Let's just take a look real quick. Now, again, dynasty leagues, keeper leagues, maybe you take a chance on Guerrero over him. But, LeMahieu, do I take him? I mean, Vladimir can only improve. I think last year we saw his absolute floor. I think he's going to come back in a major way. LeMahieu in New York, great stadium, great lineup. Anytime I talk about a Yankee, great stadium, great lineup. Hitting the ball hard. I think I'm going to project that Vladimir gets over 40% hard hit, probably more than LeMahieu this year, but LeMahieu hits the ball solid. I mean, at the end of the season, I think Guerrero has more home runs, possibly more RBIs, but I think DJ LeMahieu, where is he projected to hit in the lineup? Is he going to be more runs or RBIs? Let's see. Projected number 1. He's going to be your run guy. He's going to be like the Mookie Betts, like 130 runs. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. He's a guy that's going to get on base, going to do that for you. Honestly, for this season, like redraft, I would take LeMahieu over Guerrero. More flexibility in your roster. Going to play every single day. And stats are legit. And I think Guerrero, I hope he breaks out this season. He's going to be one of the most exciting players for the next decade and a half. But LeMahieu, I got to take over him for now. Moncada. Moncada hits the ball hard. Doesn't have that zone contact though. You know what? I'm taking LeMahieu over Goldschmidt. He hits the ball harder, makes more contact, better lineup. I'm taking him over Albies for that same reason. But I'm not going to take him over Olsen. I don't think. Just off gut from what the stats we were just looking at. Because Olsen can match him in hitting it. He's going to hit way more home runs and RBIs. But LeMahieu with more runs. I mean, Olsen projected to hit cleanup. Olsen, you can lock in for 110 RBIs at least. 40 homers, 110 RBIs if healthy. People have LeMahieu as high as 26. I don't blame them. I just don't know. I can put him over Olsen, but he's so good though. I mean, someone that he reminds me of. I already said it. Mookie Betts. I put Mookie Betts here. How do they line up? Just real quick, just briefly. Let's just do this. Mookie gonna get on base more. LeMahieu doesn't strike out the same. Habits are going to be similar. LeMahieu might be better because I think LeMahieu hits the ball harder. All right, so Mookie's got him. Okay, never mind. Mookie's going to be a lot better. Fly balls. Hard hit. Okay, never mind. Mookie's a lot better. A lot better. Okay, but LeMahieu's pretty freaking legit. For now, I'm going to put LeMahieu right below Olsen. I don't know how to spell his name. LeMahieu. Okay. But I think if I sit down after this video, I think LeMahieu, maybe I put him up a few more slots. But for now, I like him there at 39. All right. Let's keep moving. Jose Abreu, stud, power hitter, old reliable here. Look at these numbers. You know, he's going to give you 30 home runs. That year, he only got 22. He had 100 or less plate appearances. Like, you can write him down for 30. 100 RBIs. Runs may or may not be there. And OPS, 862 career. Okay. And an average, she's going to hit for a decent average as well. Okay, so let's dig in a little deeper. So for him, what I'm going to guess is he's going to be similar to like a, for power, maybe he's going to be similar to an Olsen. We can look. Babbitt, dude, Babbitt doesn't blow me. Oh, that's Rosario. Babbitt's going to be decent, 320. Strike out a decent amount, 21%, 22%. ISO's pretty good. We're 200. Not going to have the speed. Fly ball is not tremendous, 32%. Home run to fly ball is legit, 19% for career. That's awesome. 40% hard hit. I love to see that. Zone contact. Oh boy, for a power guy, look at this zone contact, 89% last year. 87 for career. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Vector Wobus 350s. Launch angle, decent, not tremendous. But the exit velo, and he's only getting better with each season. He's going to mash. Chicago White Sox, watch out. So where do you place a guy like this? Kind of okay overall, but great contact, great exit velo. Who does that remind you of? Let's see. I would maybe take him over Chris Bryant. I think so. Guerrero? I think so. What about Moncada? Moncada has a better exit velo. But I forgot what his zone contact was, though. Zone contact 83. So Abreu a little more legit, and Abreu probably more legit with, oh no, not with the launch angle. Ooh, okay, so they're actually pretty close. Abreu with more barrels, better contact, hard hit. Interesting. The ISO, Moncada had a breakout season last year. Watch out, Woba. Remember Moncada with that huge batting average balls in play. Abreu, excellent contact, not going to strike out. So who do I prefer? You know, Abreu with the RBIs, the home runs, he's going to outslug them. Moncada's going to offer some speed, equal OPS, equal runs maybe. Maybe Moncada more runs. I keep Moncada over Abreu then. I guess that's where I got to stop him. Would I take Merrifield over Abreu? I guess it just kind of depends. So like you set your rankings, but like it's more complicated than that. I don't think you could just go straight off your rankings when you're drafting. Because you got to say, okay, well, if I do that and I end up with Bellinger and Freeman, it's like I'm not going to draft Abreu when I get down here. I don't need three first basemen. Because then you got to be a little more flexible with what positions you need, um, kind of like the depth of your roster. So, like, you make the rankings before the draft and you tweak it, So ideally, you can make your decisions easier during the draft, but you really got to be able to adapt and move this around as needed. So as long as you have them in approximately the right section, I think you're going to end up with the best team possible, as long as you're happy with your rankings. So let me see. Yeah, I would be happy with Abreu around this area. If I'm looking for a first baseman, him or Goldschmidt, ooh, honestly, I'd probably take Abreu over Goldschmidt. But I like Mancada over Abreu. Do I like Mancada over? See, this is what happens. You look at all this and you're like, whoa, what do I do? What do I do? So now I got to look, and sorry if this is making this video a little long, but I need to look now. Mancada, why is Mancada under Goldschmidt? Higher walk for Goldschmidt, less strikeouts for Goldschmidt. I mean, Goldschmidt's still going to be solid. He's going to get you home runs. Hard hit, 47%. Okay, that's why. Goldschmidt's still legit. He doesn't have the speed, but he's still there. Okay, last player for this video real quick. Eddie Rosario. Interesting player. Minnesota Twins. Going to have a great lineup. Let me just check real quick. Where is Rosario sitting in that lineup? It'll make a difference here. Projected. Ooh, down in the 5th slot. Kepler, Polanco. Now, I wonder if Rosario finds his way up in like that 2 slot ever. If he does, that would be awesome. It would be a great spot to be in. But look at last year. Really broke out. Look at the OPS, though, the last 3 seasons. He had really good seasons, really good stretches within the season. Like really good hot stretches where he's hitting a ton of home runs, but only 800 OPS. 800 is good. It's like my cutoff for when I'm drafting, usually, but he's a guy you hear about and you're like, oh yeah, he's pretty good. I expect him maybe like 850 OPS. Doesn't strike out. I love it. Low BABIP last year. So that means maybe he has just some bad luck. Maybe he regresses back up. Not regress, but progresses back to the mean. Woba's decent. Fly balls. 15% home run fly ball. That's good. Hard hit. 38. 40 is my number. Don't contact though, 85. That's pretty decent. X-Woba doesn't blow me away. Launch angle's there. Exit velo doesn't blow me away. But like I already know I like Chris Bryant more than him because Chris Bryant has a launch angle. Doesn't necessarily have the exit velo, but he has the expected WOBA. The X-Woba of Chris Bryant was much higher. He's not up here anymore, but Chris Bryant was like mid 300 X-Woba. Even Moncada, Abreu has that. So who are my choices here? Yeah, I'm taking him over Mondesi. I mean, I got to. Do I take him over Pham? Do I take him over VR? Look at this contact. I mean, zone contact's good. Overall contact, not great. Is he going to chase? He's going to chase a lot. 46% out of zone swing. Yikes. That's not great. Does hit harder than VR. Less soft contact. More home runs for Eddie Rosario. Does he have any speed? 3, 1 caught. 8 the season before. Average OPS. Yeah, I mean, see, that's tough now. Now you got to say. So I think that they're definitely going to be ranked close together. But like I said in the draft, if you need someone over speed, I'd probably take VR over Rosario. If you're looking more for power at that point and you have a couple good speed guys from the top, maybe take Rosario over VR. So for now, I'm going to put him over. But now I got to compare him to Tommy Pham real quick. Tommy Pham, I like Pham better already. I already know I do. You know, more speed, better contact, hits the ball harder. Yeah, I like Pham better than Rosario. I already know. All right, let me just update this real quick. And there you have it. There are the top 50 players ranked.